Heard y'all watch a movie today. The Anonymous People, man. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I can, I can watch it right now. No texting. Pay attention. How you ladies doing? Don't look so happy, man. You get to see the guys tonight. Date night. Tuesday night. Every other week. I go all over the world and speak in jails and prisons. You don't never see them combine women and men. That's very, very rare. So y'all are very fortunate and do not abuse that rarity because it can go away. I was sitting at the smoke shack today over at McShin, killing time with the guys. And old Bruno comes up, sits down with me. Man, he's happy as pig in shit right now, man. We talked for 30 minutes about his experience here and Rise and all you guys and shit. And I was going to bring him, but I didn't want to bring him out of the program too soon. But he'll be in the next couple of weeks probably. He's doing fabulous, living the dream, very positive person, very grateful he got over to McShin. And he's just so hopeful for the future. We hope he maintains that attitude, though. He said, be sure and tell everybody hello. Everything we say about McShin is true and real. And he recommends anybody re-enter through a recovery community organization when the time comes. I know we're always on a little time restraint here. So I'm going to make it quick tonight. As usual, we're always grateful for the sheriff and the staff for making this meeting available and possible. I don't know if I told you before, but these recordings, we give all this content to tablets in correctional facilities. We're in all 50 states. And we get millions of views a year from inmates all over the country. They watch this and everything else we give to them. And we get mail every day from folks. So I know we're reaching a lot of people, doing a lot of good. So you guys are making it happen, and we appreciate it. Greg. Greg's one of your very own. He's helping me and Marshall do these meetings now, be our third wheel. Marshall's wife went to Europe, take some time off, and Marshall decided if my wife going to Europe, I'm going to go play golf. So he's down in Fort Lauderdale with his children, golfing it up. So say hi, Marshall, just in case he's watching. What up, Marshall? Anyways, he'll be back as soon as he can. So without a whole lot of fanfare, Greg, come on up and do your bit and introduce your speaker. We have a former Miss America model speaking tonight. But I'll let him tell you about her escapades.
Everybody, I'm Greg. I'm a recovering alcoholic and a drug addict still. Gay and I were riding down here tonight. We met, I guess, about 35 years ago in a gym in Richmond called the Richmond Athletic Club. And she didn't know me. I didn't know her, but we were cordial and we spoke to each other when we saw each other. And here we are 35, 36 years later down here. And I remember running into her at an AA meeting. And she was trying to hide because she didn't want me to see that she was an alcoholic. And I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. I ran into a friend of mine this past week. I want to share this with you. And she said, "You changed a lot." And I said, "No, a lot has changed me. What I've gone through and what I've been fortunate enough to be here tonight. And if I got what I deserved, I'd be in prison or I'd be dead. I'm so thankful to God of my understanding that he has given me numerous opportunities to finally figure this thing out one day at a time. I stay sober one day at a time." And Gay and I were talking earlier, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. All that emotional pain, all that turmoil, all that trauma that I went through, I wanted to inflict that on other people. I didn't know what to do with those emotions and what to do with those feelings, so I tried to inflict that on other people, whether it was emotionally, mentally, or physically. And I had people do the same to me too. But hurt people hurt people. I like that saying. But when I was down to nothing, God was up to something. When I was down to nothing, God was up to something. And that was to give my sorry ass another opportunity. And I come down here with John. John asked me to be a part of this, and I am so honored and privileged that he asked me to do that. There's no place I'd rather be tonight than be here with you folks. My wife has gone to see a Black Crowes concert tonight up in Northern Virginia, and I get to stay home tonight and watch NBA basketball with nobody bothering me. Got 3 games on tonight. I think it starts with the Knicks game coming on at 7 o'clock. But anyway, the speaker is a dear friend of mine. We have become really close over the years since we've been coming into AA meetings in recovery. And she's as bad as opposite as I am, and I'm as bad as opposite as she is, but we tolerate each other. And we care about each other, and we love each other. And it's funny how all that comes to fruition after so many years. The thing that we have in common is that we're both alcoholics and drug addicts. And we found each other through recovery again in the meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I'd like to bring up my dear friend, Gay Frugard. She's going to share her story with you. And let's give a nice hand for Gay.
He told me to get away from this speaker, so I'm going to do what he told me. I'm really glad to see you closer. I'm really glad to see you all tonight. I'm glad you're here. You made my night. I hope I can share some things with you that might make a little bit of your night a little bit better. As Greg said, we go back a lot of years. And when I saw Greg in an AA meeting, he was the last person I wanted to see. I didn't want him knowing my business, and I'm sure he probably didn't want me knowing his. But the funny thing was, we became best of friends. And as he said, we're nothing alike, except we're alcoholics. You know, I don't know, and I'm going to say this to each of you, you know, I'm one drink away from your seat. I could go right back today. I could walk out of this building tonight and get in my head that I think a drink would be mighty good when I got home tonight. That's how my head works. I don't know about yours, but you know, I can go there in a second. I'll tell anybody I'm a liar, I'm a cheat, and I'm a thief. All those things. If I don't treat this disease, I will go back to being a liar, a cheat, and a thief. So you ain't getting nothing over on me. I can go in anybody's house, anybody's apartment. I can get their drugs. I can get whatever I want out of there while they're downstairs having themselves a good time at the party. I know how to do those things. I'm not proud of those things, but I know how. Because that, you know what? People say, why would you do those kind of things? Why would I do those things? Because it made me feel powerful, felt strong. You know, I could go in somebody's house and take their stuff. I felt good, you know, because my whole deal is this. I'll do anything, any drug, any alcohol to make me not feel. When I'm in my disease, I do not want to feel anything. I'm an alcoholic. I did drugs, but drugs is really a very small part of my story. But don't let this here fool you. Many of you are saying, what can that white woman teach me? I probably can't teach you anything, but I can tell you I've walked in your shoes. That's all you need to know, because I know how you feel, each one of you. You know, I didn't drink like most people drank. You know, I was kind of private about my drinking. I certainly did some crazy stuff when I was drinking. You know, wrecked my car numerous times in blackouts. You know, so I've had a few small offenses, but I also spent one good night in Henrico's Finest out on Parham Road for DUI. But, you know, I thought I was really smart. You know, I woke up out of a blackout in a jail cell. And I thought, what the hell? How did I get here? I had no idea. But, you know, that's what this disease does to you. It tells you things that you think are good decisions, but they're not very good decisions. So I want to tell you a little about, you know, we try to share our story about what I was like, what it's like now, and what happened. I grew up in Virginia Beach. I came from a normal family, what appeared to be a normal family. My father was an alcoholic, so I knew what that looked like. We had a long line of alcoholics in my family. So I knew what they looked like, and I swore to God I did not want to be one of them. I wanted to go to college because I wanted to get the hell out of there and try to get an education because, again, I did not want to be an alcoholic. So I went to school, came to Richmond, went to VCU, got a degree. My life was pretty good. Interestingly, I worked with juvenile delinquents the first part of my career. So I worked for the Department of Corrections with young boys who were just getting out of juvenile court and coming into a halfway house. That's what I did. And I tell you, I have to tell you, I was very good at it. I love those kids, and those kids love me because, for once, they felt loved for no reason. Not what they did, but just because they were in my program. I love those boys. And it changed me. It probably didn't change much of them, but it surely changed me because I saw a lot of hurt people. And as Greg referred to earlier, we're all hurt people. All of us get hurt. I believe we came here broken. I certainly did. And there's parts of me that are still broken. You know, I'm healing every day. I don't have all the answers by any stretch of the imagination. But today, I get a chance to live a different life. So when I got the DUI, like I said, I probably had about 4 motor vehicular accidents driving while I was drunk. And fortunately or unfortunately, I got off the charges. Well, the last one was a DUI, of course, and I didn't get off that charge. I did spend the night in jail, but I went to court, and fortunately, again, I don't know how this happened, except I believe it was God. They reduced my DUI to reckless driving. Now, how that happens, I'm not sure, but it happened to me. So I didn't lose my license. I didn't lose my job. And I was able to maintain, having a job, which was really important to me. But I had no idea how to live life. I mean, here I was, a grown ass woman, and I did not know how to live life. And I surely wasn't going to tell nobody I didn't know how to live life, but I had no clue. I had no idea. When I would get upset or something didn't go my way, I would fly off the handle. I would tell you all about yourself. It was your fault. It was your fault, never my fault. And that's the way I live my life. I always thought it was you people that caused me all the problems, but that was not true. So I came in AA. I didn't want to come. I thought I knew everything. Y'all couldn't teach me anything. What in the world was a group of drunks going to teach me? I knew how to drink, but what I didn't know how to do was stay sober. I didn't know how to quit drinking. I had no idea. I tried, and I tried, but it didn't work. So when I finally got in AA and started working the program and listening to people, I thought I had all the answers in life. And the truth was, I had zero. Zero. I didn't know how to handle anything. I mean, it's just crazy what we do to ourselves. I'll tell anybody, I had a drinking disease, but my biggest problem is my thinking disease. My disease lies right up here in my head. It's not about this. Oh yeah, I love that too. But what I really didn't realize was this brain that I have was alcoholic. It told me all the time, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not going to get anywhere in life, you just stupid, you might as well just accept that, you're a loser. I believed that. When that brain kept telling me that, I believed it. So it took a while for me to really start to get the program. And what the program is really about is, again, how to live life on life's terms. Again, I had no clue. I had no idea how to live life. Like if something came up and I got upset about it, I thought it was perfectly okay for me to get pissed off and to act out, to call people names, get up in their face. I thought that was normal. What do you mean that's not normal? But that's the way I live because that's what I thought. And today, I don't have to live that way today. As Greg was talking about, and John was talking about as well, as AA is, of course, some of you are sure are aware, it's a 12-step program. So it's a program that's designed to not only help you stop drinking, but it's a program to help you look at you. Because you see, what I finally realized, you people weren't the problem. I was the problem. My thinking, my stinking thinking got me into all the trouble that I ever got into. Nobody made me do anything. Nobody, everything I did, Gay did on her own. And because of my thinking, I would justify. I would say, what is the big deal? I went in that lady's house and stole that stuff. She didn't need it. She had plenty. What'd she need? She didn't need 2 rings. 1 ring was plenty. But that's the way I thought. So I would help myself because I would say, you got too much. You don't need all that. But that's the way I would think because I could justify any of my behavior. And the reality was, I was stealing. I was a thief. I was helping myself to something that didn't belong to me. I thought it was okay. So what AA helped me do was to look at my own life and to begin to see that I really was the problem, that I was the one who caused the problems. And with time, I began to see that and was able to begin to really change my life. But it takes time. Time takes time. As Greg said, hurt people hurt people. It's very sad, but we do. When I'd get mad or get upset or get angry, I'd want to hurt somebody else. I'd want to blame you and try to hurt you in whatever way I could. Obviously, I wasn't a big fighter. I used to think that I could, but that was not true. But I would try to hurt people because that's what booze did to me. It made me blame other people for all of my behavior. And I've heard lots of people that come into the program say, I don't have a problem. It's those people. It's my husband. It's my boyfriend. It's my this. They made me do this. Now look at me. I don't have a life. I'm locked up, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Nobody made me do anything. Only person that got me in trouble was me. And I don't know about you, but that's a really hard thing to accept because I never wanted to be the one to blame. I wanted to blame you. I wanted to blame everybody else. Yes, indeed. I wanted to blame them all. That was my game until I had to stop and look at me. And I'm telling you, that was mighty scary for this woman. I had no idea who I really was because I was also a people pleaser. I like to please everybody. I like to make you think, oh, yeah, what you're saying, oh, yeah, that's good. You're good. I didn't no more agree with that, but I tell you I did because I wanted to make other people happy. And I thought if you were happy, then I was going to be happy. So that's how life worked for me until, again, I got in and started working the program. Because what the program says, what it teaches us is, again, first and foremost, I got to be accountable. I got to be accountable. I didn't want no parts of that. What do you mean I got to be accountable? Oh, hell no, I'm not accountable. I got to be responsible. I don't know about you. Maybe you'd like being responsible. I didn't like it. I didn't want nobody telling me what to do or how to do it. I thought I had all the answers. So again, what the program taught me was how to live life on life's terms. And the reason I go to, I still go to a lot of meetings, Greg and I both do. And people say sometimes, what do you go to all the meetings for? You've been sober for a while now. And they say, well, why do you still do that? I'll tell anybody, I go to those meetings first and foremost to hear other people who got sober and went back out there. And I always ask them, how was it when you went back out there? How was that new booze? How was that new vodka? I've been wanting to taste that vodka. That sounds so good to me. And they would say, just like it was before. You know, as soon as I started drinking, I got drunk. I started craving alcohol. I started the addiction again because the addiction is real, right? I mean, when you're craving something, it's real. My mind is telling me, I don't care what you do, you need to get a fix. I don't care how you get it, how much it costs, but you need it, right? I mean, I heard people say, you know, I couldn't even go to my job without getting a fix because I couldn't work. My shakes, all that was going on. I was shaking like crazy. And I know what that is, right? I know what that feeling is. And I'm very aware when people tell me that it's the worst feeling in the world because you would kill to get to a fix, to get rid of that shakes, to get rid of that feeling because you think you're not going to make it. I mean, I've had people tell me. And let me tell you, I've lost people to this disease, and it's a terrible thing. I mean, it makes no sense to me. But if you don't change the way you're living, you're going to go right back to what you came from. And if what you were doing out there was working, I can assure you, you wouldn't be sitting in here with me tonight. I surely wouldn't be in here. If it was working my way, when I was out there doing my thing got me here. My thinking got me here. So you can see it didn't work very well. When I tried it my way, it never, ever worked. But until I was able to surrender, until I was able to say, I have no control over this, over alcohol. When I put a drop of alcohol in my body, my next thought is, where am I going to get more? More, more, and more. That's how I ran. I was always looking for more because that's what your brain tells you, right? When you're an addict, that's all you want is more. And I'm an addict. I would addict to anything if it would make me feel different, if I didn't have to be inside this body. But today, I'm comfortable with who I am. And that took a long time. It wasn't easy, but I am comfortable being the person I am today. But again, I have to be involved in this program and I have to listen to people. You know, I go to meetings and people tell me problems they're having, or I tell them my problems. I'm not void of problems. I still got plenty. Life is rough. It ain't sweet out there. I'll tell anybody it ain't easy out there. But I have a way to deal with those things today, and I don't have to drink. And trust me, I could have never, ever imagined living without a drink. That's all I thought about. I remember trying to get sober. It was so hard for me because all I kept thinking about was drinking. I mean, what are you going to do with yourself? You're thinking about what you need, what your needs are. You want to drink. So fortunately, I was able to work the program, get involved. I'm very involved in this program. These people matter to me. You people matter to me. I don't know you and you don't know me, but you matter. You're a human being and you deserve to have a sense of hope. Yeah, I don't care what you did. I don't care where you've been, what you did to get in here. You still deserve hope. You deserve a chance. And we all can get one, but you gotta, you can't go back to what you came from. Because I can guarantee you, if you do, you're going to be right back in here. And some people like it in here. I mean, I'm not saying, that's a bad thing. It's not for me. I don't want somebody locking the door behind me every day. But I understand why it's here. And the point is, we come in here to try to give you a different way of life, to give you a sense of hope, that there is hope for each of you. If you try if you get yourself involved, everybody needs to be connected to another human being. We didn't come here to be by ourselves. We all need each other. I can't go out here today, tomorrow. I need people. I need support. I need people good and kind to me. And I want to do that as well. But there's a lot of people out there that don't look at life that way. So, we come in here to try to tell you people that there is a different way of life. And I'm so grateful to be here today. Yeah, I was a little bit worried. Hadn't been in the big house for a while. And, it's a little bit scary. But I knew you people were going to be fine. And I'm just so excited. I mean, God, look at the young, old, middle-aged, but you're great people. And you got a chance. And I'm not telling you, I'm not blowing up your skirt or anything like that. I mean, you don't need to hear a bunch of bullshit. You can go anywhere and hear that. But today, you have as much a chance as I did. I mean, Greg spent a lot of years in the big house. He never thought he was going anywhere. And look at him. Somebody gave him a chance. And he got in this program. So the same thing can happen to each and every one of you. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad I'm sober today. And I'm glad I'm standing up here in front of you people. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
I was hoping you were going to talk about your stripping days, but you left that out. I mean, she was hot back in the day. I seen the photos, man. But, and I know she still thinks like that too. So, but listen up for a minute. An addict or an alcoholic, they can stop using and lose that desire and find a new way to live. Now we sit up in here. A lot of us are still in the game. We're still out on the streets. We can't fathom a different way of life. But I'm suggesting while you're here, just take the time out. Reset your thinking, look around, pay attention to some of the folks that come in here and try to carry that message of hope. And, maybe it's not exciting to hear me say, I got here early tonight, so I sat out at that 7-Eleven. I ate me a pint of Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream in the parking lot, minding my own business, softening it up with my hands so I could get the spoon in it. And I'm loving life, man. And, took my time getting here, met Greg at the gate and Gay, and, we shoot the shit for a minute coming down the hallway. And then I sat with Bruno for at least 30 minutes today, killing it, So I don't know what your vision of peace and serenity and happiness is, but when I go home tonight and I go to bed, man, I got my dog there. I go to sleep pretty easy. I'm not staying up at night worrying about back charges, POs, court cases, money owed, none of that shit. I go to sleep. I get up in the morning, there's my beautiful wife and my list of things to do that day. And, I still work a little bit. I got to hustle, make a few bucks, pay some bills. But by and large, I'm not running from anything, okay? And yes, I have lost that desire to use because I have found a new way to live. And there's millions of us in America. There's half a dozen right here. We found a new way to live. And it isn't the chaos and drama and all the crap we used to do. Somewhere along the line, you got to cross the river Rubicon, go forward, keep it simple, and see if your life doesn't change and get better. I'm so grateful. I got family that loves me. I care about them. We love each other. We connect. We interact with each other. We do things together. And it's just not centered around the stuff I used to do in active addiction. So if you're sitting in here and you're still in your head in active addiction, I'm telling you, you're going to get active addiction results. But if you can change your thinking and get some recovery thinking going, you're going to get some recovery results. Recovery results are going to be different than active addiction results. But I'm assuming active addiction results you're going to regret downstream. Recovery results you will not regret. Okay? Now, I kind of like Gay touched on something there for a minute. I don't know if she touched on it or not. You know, you guys and you ladies, you get to spend all week or 2 weeks with each other. You come in here for an hour. For 1 hour, if you can just stay focused, wait for the hit, you'll get a hit. You know, you're going to get a hit. And if I were y'all, I'd stay focused when you come up in here and save the hen talk for back there. Now, most of y'all do really good. I'm very, very proud of you. I just happen to be an observer, and I can sit in the back and see who's carrying on. It looks like they running a numbers game, man. I mean, do that back there. Don't do that up in here. Stay focused, get the hit, and change your life. You're not going to regret changing your life. You're not going to regret chasing that recovery lifestyle because you'll get recovery lifestyle results. And the new way to live ain't bad. I mean, I ran the game for years, and I've been in recovery for years, and I'll take recovery any day over that old way of life. Greg, you got any closing words for us? Part of your job is to send them off with parting words of wisdom and motivation to stay in recovery when they leave here. Give it up for Greg one more time, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
When I wake up every day, I have two things. I have a chance and I have a choice today. It wasn't that long ago I didn't have a choice. First thing I woke up, if I came to, I don't want to say woke up, I'd have to head to the refrigerator to get a drink before I went to work to take the edge off. Then I would ride around with a fifth in the back seat of my car, a fifth of Patron. That was my drink. And I'd have that red Solo cup throughout the day to help keep me stable. But today, I think the last time I was here, I said addiction is the only prison that the locks are on the inside. If I treat the symptoms of my disease, at some point my disease will be arrested. The symptoms are the trauma, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment. Gay said it earlier. Those tapes playing in my head. You're never going to be anything. You'll be just like your father. You'll die before you're 30. I didn't die before I was 30. I got lucky. I got locked up when I was 28. I came home when I was 34 years old to another treatment center. And I didn't stay sober, in and out three, 4 different times. But the last time, I just couldn't put one foot in front of the other. I lay face first in the parking lot at St. Mary's Hospital, woke up on the 7th floor, the psychiatric ward, and I was so angry I was still alive. I couldn't even drink myself to death because God had a different plan for me. That plan was to come and share my experience, strength, and hope that if I can stay sober and stay clean 24 hours today, then you can. But it's not easy. It takes a commitment. It takes a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of disappointment. But I'm not that person I used to be anymore. A friend of mine told me, he said, somebody asked about me quite some time ago. He said, yeah, Greg's doing good. He's sober. He ain't drinking no more. He ain't doing drugs. He's out of prison. And you know what they said? Keep that motherfucker away from me. That's all I care about. Because they remember how I used to be. I'm not that person anymore. I'm a very kind, caring, sensitive, loving person. And I can be that today with the people I run around. I don't have to all flex and puff out and all because I don't hang around those people anymore. I hang around people that are just like me. And that's what recovery gives for me. Thanks for having me tonight. So glad to be here. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.